Hey, this summer I'm going on the longest hike that I've been so far, around 10 days in the northern wilderness in an area mostly without any paths. Most people would probably be wondering what kind of boots or jacket or backpack they're going to bring. But you and me both know the most important question is what camera gear to bring. Usually I bring something small like my Minox 35 ml, which is sadly now malfunctioning, or the Ricoh GR10, or at most the Nikon FM2 with the 50mm 1.8. They are all small and light cameras, but I'm really struggling with the thought of having only one of those for what might be, but hopefully won't be, like a once in a lifetime occasion. You see, a large section of this hike will be on hills above the tree line, but the hills are not very prominent from the surrounding landscape, only by a couple of hundred of meters, so quite flat-topped ancient hills. So there will be expansive views, but mostly of slightly undulating terrain. Expansive, what does that remind me of? Oh yeah, the X-Pan. So this might be the perfect camera for those kind of views in theory, but would the compositions actually work? If it's just a bunch of desolate terrain, if there is some interesting subject in the landscape, how do I avoid losing it in the size of the frame? I mean, I guess you could turn off the panoramic mode on the X-Pan. Did you know that you can actually do that? I've never taken a single non-panoramic image with it, and I doubt anybody else has either, but don't quote me on that. I could take two cameras, right? Maybe the X-Pan for expansive views and something like this Nikon and 105mm for the detail shots. I could even take the 105 macro and use it for both the distant objects and flowers or bugs or something. I've thought about this again and again, but there's a problem. What I've noticed on a hike or most any places is that unless your camera is readily available in your hands, you will never take pictures with it. This is of course a gross exaggeration, but it's mostly true. If you have the camera in a bag, it's just staying there, getting carried around, and I've tried. I think it still might be feasible to take the Nikon and the 104 and only take it out when I'm summiting these hills, but I'm starting to lean on not taking it. It's going to be around 150 kilometers of walking around, and even though I'm a pretty strong guy, I don't need to make it more difficult than it needs to be. After all, if I take a Nikon, I might start to think about changing the FM2 for the F3P, which is supposedly weather sealed. That brings us to the next issue. The X-Pan most definitely is not weather sealed. It might rain, it might even snow. The route includes wading through rivers, and I mean like real rivers, not just a small stream. There is an actual risk that me and all my stuff will swim in one of these rivers. I have horrible balance. So this presents us with some additional packing issues. It's not just about not banging the rangefinder out of alignment, but actually how to keep it from flooding. Usually I pack everything in these dry sacks by Love Alpine. My backpack isn't waterproof, I just have a rain cover for it. And so if I want to have dry change of clothes, this is the way it's going to be achieved. So I started thinking maybe I can fix something from this. So I'm currently looking into some military surplus bags that are not too big, maybe like a gas mask carrying bag or something. This is not that, I haven't yet bought any, but I throw this idea out and maybe get some feedback on why I am wrong and my face is stupid. So I take this bag and then maybe buy some of this closed cell foam and like a yoga mat or a seat cover or something, and make a little nest for the camera inside the bag, like an insert. And inside the padding, I'd put one of these dry bags, and maybe, I don't know, tape it together or glue it together, so I can slip the camera in and out of the dry sack when I want to use it, and have this hanging on my chest side. So when I'll get to the river, I'll just roll the dry sack very tight and hope for the best. I've heard people go swimming with their stuff in one of those dry bags and use it like a float. And I hope the X-Band doesn't just float away if something goes wrong. But yeah, if this feels like a solid plan, I think I'll go ahead with this. Yeah. And for 10 days, I'll think I'll use about 7 or 8 rolls of film. Usually on a hike, I go through about 2 rolls per 3 days, so 1.5 rolls per day. But that's when I'm taking 36 exposure rolls on a normal camera. The X-Band takes 20 pictures per roll, so it should be a bit more. One funny aspect of packing for this trip is the film selection. I was looking at what non-expired 135 films I have available at hand, and the color stuff is ISO 100, 160 or 200. But I realized that it's far enough north that the sun won't set at all when I am there. So unless it's cloudy, I can basically just use that stuff for any hour of the day. Sunny 16, more like sunny 24/7. And I think color is the right way to go here, even though I usually do black and white for my personal work. The leafy bushes and the tiny trees should have small leaves going already, and the landscape should be that nice gradient of the dry brown pricklies and the new light green leaves. Might be even some flowers going on already. Who knows, it could be full summer. It changes from year to year. Anyway, I do love my expired films as well, but for this I'd like to be reasonably sure of the results and the consistent look. I have some pretty wild expired stuff, but I haven't yet had the time to go through it and see how it actually works. Maybe I'll make a video about it for you maybe next time. Okay, see ya. Thanks for watching.